patriot, vampire, nationalist, mental retard, eugenicist, a scared man.
Really?
Retard, traitor, next level, Moses.
Yes.
I don't know how you did it, but I know you're dirty. I know you're on steroids.
What?
You're not anabolic. You're a gashead.
No.
You're a gashead.
No.
What's this look
What?
like? What's this look like? Testosterone?
No,
What's this look like, huh?
No.
The juice?
This is an ambush.
What's this, huh?
This is an ambush.
Barry Bonds?
Yo, homeboy! Welcome to the hood, brother!
Down to the Nyla Rose, Nyla Beach, named of Nyla Rose the Beach.
We saw last week on AEW Dynamite.
Bam, bam! Down with the best friend, bum. Sorry. Thunder, Rosa, she's Rosa, she's Rosa.
Ruby Soho, Ruby Soho. I know you would love that. I knew you would love that.
Ruby Soho, destination, no, whoa.
Doesn't work for me, brother.
Go home!
From Montreal to Memphis, parlez-vous français? Tell all the girls the Rouges are on their way. They don't like heavy metal, they don't like rock and roll, but all they like to listen to is Barry Manilow. They're all American boys, all American boys, all American boys. They're all American boys.
Trey, what you think about those new clips we got?
Yeah, those are great. That Hogan one. Welcome to the hood, brother.
Welcome to the hood, brother.
That was killing me, dude. What the fuck?
Well, on that note, welcome to another edition of Pin Down Podcast. Another episode in the books. So yeah, you all read the title. We got Ronda Rousey. Definitely talking about Ronda Rousey. But I think before we get started with Ronda, we've got to talk about NXT before we actually go on to our main source. It's going to be a very short stream today because we're trying to get done before the Gina Carano and Ronda Rousey fight for later. So we're going to try to keep us under an hour, maybe less, but we'll see what happens. It depends upon our rage upon NXT. So let's see who's in the chat real quick, and we'll get started. We got Jack All Casuals. Jack, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Gigawatt, that does not look like Ronda Rousey. No, that looks like someone else, and we'll get to that in a minute.
We'll get it to good old Mason Roosh.
Yeah. Oh, God. But anyways, before we get started, Trey, do you have anything to promote before I get this article up?
I did a couple videos. Just check those out. But outside of that, nothing really. Well, tomorrow we'll also be live talking about Dwayne's not new, because not brand new, but his most recent, very dramatic movie, The Smashing Machine. Me and Tyler watched it. We'll give our take on it tomorrow on reviewing with the boys, but that's about it.
That's right. Before we get started, let me do the banner so everyone knows what we're talking about real quick. So we're going to talk about the state of NXT. Okay. Trey, do you want to read this article real quick, and then we'll go and give our thoughts about this?
Yes. NXT clearly wants Mason Roop to succeed. They even changed his look the week after his debut to make him look more like a tough male wrestler after fans trolled him. So maybe they only did that to experiment with different butch lesbian looks he still looks like one. Yes, he does. And
okay, the first time I saw this guy come on TV a couple weeks ago, I legit thought, "Wow, I did not know Chaz Bono got into fucking wrestling."
yeah, when I saw him on Twitter, I was just, what am I looking at?
Yeah,
and
dude.
here's the truth: I'm a fat guy. This is coming from a fat guy.
Yeah.
And people using, well, Vader. Vader wasn't fat. He had the strong man build, especially at his prime. Dusty looked like a shit kicker, even though he looked like a bar fight guy, you know?
Yeah.
Kevin Owens, I'm sorry, he looks better than this motherfucker. I have to be real, objectively.
Yeah, he's just legit. He's just some fat ass who does moonsaults. And everyone thinks he's like over now. It's like, no,
dude. Oh, he does the power bomb cutter. That move is so convoluted. That move is retarded, guys.
Yeah.
It makes no sense, like logistically. If you watch that in a match, that's retarded. So realistically, do you just not get yourself caught up in why not just do a power bomb?
Yeah,
a normal one, or just do a cutter on its own. Why do you have to do this convoluted Uber setup? Ugh.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Right. So we got Mason Rook right here, and now comparison. Look, this is Vader. Legit, this is Vader.
He looked like he'd fucking break your neck. Like even
yeah, go ahead.
I was mentioned Vader was in. I talked about this with you the other day. I mentioned Vader being in Boy Meets World. Even in that show, when that was him without the mask,
yeah,
he still looked like he'd kick your ass.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, there's a difference between Mason Rook and Vader right there. He looks like an athlete. Mason Rook looks like a guy who just came off the streets and just got done. Legit, he looks like a guy that should be challenging Joey Chestnut for the Nathan Hot Dog Challenge in the 4th of July weekend. He looks like that kind of guy. He does not like legit. What's makes this guy special? Because he does a fucking moonsault. Really?
Power bomb cutter, Tyler. Power bomb cutter, which is a dumb fucking move anyway.
And this is my reaction to him.
Doesn't work for me, brother.
No, here's the thing, too. And now I guess we'll get into NXT because I think we originally planned on doing this in the end, but we had to get to it because NXT, you saw the ratings this week, was under 500,000 this week, and hence the thumbnail. This is your future. Look at a guy like Bronson Reed. He looked like a shit kicker, even though he's a bigger dude.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, Otis looks more like a shit kicker than this Mason Rook guy.
But here's the thing, though, too. Like, it just shows how shit the men division is for this roster, because the roster is dog shit. If it's not for the women's division, NXT would be legit. No one would give a fuck. The men's side is cooked. Sean thinks.
Look at who the champion is.
Yeah,
Tony D'Angelo. You're still trying with this motherfucker. There was that period after doing the whole mob thing. Remember, every week he was clearing the ring. They were treating him like he was 1997 Kane.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are we doing? This guy's not that big. I don't buy this motherfucker taking out 20 dudes. What are we doing?
Yeah, dude, it's bad. Like I said, this whole NXT show is it's the worst since I've seen since 2010. It's that bad.
Yeah, it's bad. Well, it was like I said yesterday. I called Oba, Trick, Javon, Ethan Page. All those guys were Band-Aids.
Yep.
And they're gone now. They're all gone. And I think Sean, the fact he didn't plan this, he had to have known. I think Triple H probably gave him a heads up. Because I bet you Triple H wanted some of those guys earlier. But I bet you Sean was like, as a friend, let me keep these guys for a little longer. So why didn't you plan the next generation then, Sean?
So I watched that. This was going to happen. That Shawn Michaels documentary on Peacock, and Sean's like, "Yeah, I didn't know Javon and Obafemi was getting caught up until after the John Cena retirement show." And I'm just like,
I don't believe it.
Why are you waiting till that? Why are you waiting that long to try to build some more people around those guys when they leave? It's like I've never heard that before. It's so stupid to me.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Because the tag, like the tag team division, we talked about it. The tag team division's dog shit. The men's division's god awful. The only thing that's going for him is the women's division, and that's because Sean can't stop gooning to all the freaking chicks. Because, like I said, it's like a football team. If you got a really good offense and your defense is dog shit, you're not going to win games. It's got to be balanced. It's got to be both sides of the ball. It's got to be great. You got to be great. You got to be great on both sides. You just can't be good at one area.
In this crop of NXT guys going to be your next Roman Reigns?
I don't see it.
Cena,
Who? Almost 40-year-old freaking Evil? Really?
Yeah, Evil. Really? Mason Rook?
Yeah,
Mason Rook?
Yeah, Mason Rook. You got freaking Tony D'Angelo. Looks like a freaking Temu Seth Rollins. Legit, he looks like Seth Rollins now.
And the fact he's the NXT champion. And what's the end game, Sean, with him as champion? Who, I guess Mason Rook beats him or Evil beats him? Okay. Then
then you have the fucking shit with the legacy group type of thing. All those guys, like Jordan, what's her name, Ariana Grace and Brian Pillman Jr. and Phil's kids.
They're like a TNA, but they're borderline a TNA group too because they're in TNA. Well, not really now, I guess, since Ariana lost their title. But
NXT sucks, dude. It really does. Like I said, I've said this for a long time. Shawn Michaels sucks as a fucking booker.
I can't believe I'm saying this. It might be worse than TNA.
Honestly, NXT is getting as bad as AEW.
Yeah, because at least TNA, the roster isn't great, but there's somewhat a balance still with the men's side and the women's side.
I can't even say TNA because I'm not watched, but like AEW, that's the thing. We give AEW a lot of shit, but the men's division is a whole lot better than the freaking men's division in NXT.
Oh, it's not even close. It's not even close.
It's ridiculous. It's a night
and day
comparison.
No stars.
No,
they have no stars.
Nobody.
Like, when we're talking about possibly since Big Bill, former, Big Cass, apparently his contract in AEW is expiring. When we're talking about maybe he can go to NXT and make it something, that's sad, kind of, if you think about it. No offense to Big Cass, but Jesus.
It's just facts. Like that roster on NXT is so thin, man. My God, it's not even
that funny. Even like a Big Cass will lift it up a little bit.
Yep.
Like,
well, I think we do. I think
you got those fucking Vanity Project guys. They're fine. I think the gimmick's okay. They're all right heels. They're not more than tag guys, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, tag team division's cooked. Pretty much everything. It's cooked.
And then they're still doing Dark State, but now they're baby faces now, I guess. Why?
Yeah,
Sean, why are we still doing Dark State? We're still doing Temu Shield.
Sean is honestly, Sean's dog shit right now. What he's doing, Triple H is doing. The best booker out of all of them is Undertaker. Legit.
Undertaker, then Triple H, because at least Raw is still watchable. NXT
it's not as bad as 2019, 2020, and all that crap, but it's starting to get really retarded. I'm not gonna lie.
Some of the booking, let's do Jade and Rhea again. We're gonna still try to push Jade and her fucking faction still when you have Fatal Influence right there. Why?
We want to talk about someone, Trey, who they did push and didn't got slapped in the face for doing it. Let's talk about Ronda Rousey.
Good old Ronda. Yeah.
She's back at it again, folks. She's back at it again. She's back at it again, running her dick licker.
Shut the fuck up.
No, she will not.
The fuck up.
Trey, you want to read this for the chat? Because this is going to be a multiple segment for Ronda. So get your popcorn ready to go because I got a lot to say. And I know Trey's got a lot to say about this dog shit.
Yeah.
Right there. Let's go from there, Trey.
Ronda Rousey says there was very little time to put the Mania 35 main event together. Felt like it wasn't as great as it could have been. I remembered we had no time to put it all together. We spent a year promoting it and like a day and a half putting it together. And it seemed like such a shame because my debut match, we spent like 6 weeks putting it together. And we had all the best minds in the industry coming and giving their 2 cents and tweaking it, making it better and better and better until the day that we came and we went out and did it. We had it flawlessly down. It was my favorite match ever that I had. Okay, wait. Are you talking out of both sides of your mouth, bitch? It sounded like you were shitting on it, and now you're praising it now. What?
Yeah, here's my thing. She said we did a whole year promoting this match. When did they take a whole year to promote this match? Because they didn't do that shit match until Survivor Series against Charlotte and that's
I get that wasn't a year. That was literally because Mania was in April, I think, of that year, and that was November 2018. And then here's the thing. Then they did nothing with that for a little bit. They didn't really start setting it up till we got to February of 2019. What are you talking about?
I don't even think they even freaking knew what they had with Becky until after she got punched in the face. And they're like, okay,
and you know
we
the
can add her
funny
to
thing
this
is, Tyler, I wasn't even watching live, and I still knew this.
Yeah, she's like,
And she was booked.
it took us a year to promote. WWE didn't promote this shit. This came out of the blue in November. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah. Anyway,
less than 6 months, right? And she's saying about this shit, and she's like, "Oh, we
And
had the
I'm
best
also-
lines for my match." Yeah, because it was your debut match. I think they try to think, okay, maybe when you're your second year in the business, maybe you actually figured out shit yourself. But no, and you know what's funny to me? Becky Lynch put in her book that Ronda had a problem with losing the match because she didn't want to lose because her mom would disown her for losing a fake match.
And we make the mom jokes with her for a while. Yeah.
It's so this woman's so, oh my God. Anyway, that's one of the articles, right? Let's go to the other one. Now this is now I don't disagree about this one, but let me share this link. Okay, here we go. You want to read that, Trey, for the chat?
Yeah. Ronda was asked what was the biggest difference between her first and second runs in WWE. The second run, Vince was more far gone and more difficult to work with. Okay, I kind of agree with that. There was a lot of inner turmoil going on with the company. Yeah, the whole TKO stuff. It was kind of a shit show and nobody ever knew what was going on. You would get to the arena and you would be made to do something that somebody threw in your lap that hadn't thought about it until 15 minutes before. Everything was super last minute and not well thought out. There was no communication, no back and forth. Yeah. I was definitely, okay. What else does she say? Any attempt to collaborate felt like we were trying to negotiate something as opposed to partnering together to make something great. Love being out there in the ring. Do you though? Do you though?
Yeah.
Anyway, but the process was just such a clusterfuck shit show that it was so much more anxiety than it was worth. I just look back and I just remember the anxiety of not knowing what was going on, and then the last minute maybe we'd be able to pull it out of our ass and have a good night, and maybe not. I was definitely Team Triple H to get it, to take over. I've heard it's so much better since he's taking things over, but unfortunately I didn't get to experience it. I'm happy you didn't experience it. Fuck off.
She's lying too, because she does know that Triple H already took the book over when she freaking had her last match against Shayna Baszler, right?
Yeah. Wasn't that like 2023?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what are you talking about, Ronda? You were there when Triple H took over.
Yeah, literally 2022.
He put the fucking tag belts on your fucking asses. What are we talking about?
Also, bitch, he technically took over in 2022 when you were still there.
Yep. God, I know CTE's real, but fucking hell.
Yeah, apparently. God damn.
And
you were there, bitch.
Here's the one that really didn't shock me, but I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to tweet this out because this comes from NoDQ.com. Ronda said this. Ronda says her final match in WWE was a big middle finger to all the fans on the way out. To my reply was, her entire second run felt like a fuck you to the fans.
Yeah. Because you were saying fuck you to the fans, Ronda. I remember that. Building up to 35 on Twitter. You were exposing the business and you supposedly loved it, right?
And then she's telling people like, oh, I was working. Says the person who said, I don't know the difference between a work and a shoot. So now, but now you're telling people you're working with a storyline on Twitter.
Says the person also didn't know what pay-per-view buy rates were.
Yeah, legit. She said that a couple, not even a month ago. We covered it. We covered that shit when she showed up for an AEW. Yeah. This bitch is retarded, man. Legit. She is the dumbest bitch I've ever seen in my life. And then this is the real kicker. And then we got two more articles, one more article to go to. Let's see here. This one right here. I am very aware that women are headlining WWE now because of me.
No.
This bitch does know that the women were already headlining before she even got to the company in 17, 18?
18. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, what are you talking about? We already had we had Charlotte and fucking Sasha main eventing Monday Night Raws, doing the Hell in a Cell matches, a Hell in a Cell. And all the other fucking matches, I can't really think of the top of my head. But still, I've watched them, so I know. But still,
and also, remember Evolution? Wasn't that like 2018 before she got there?
Oh God, no, she was there because she wrestled against fucking Nikki Bella.
Oh yeah, she was the headline. Yeah,
yeah. I think she was the main event or was she the semi-main?
I think she was the main event. I'm pretty sure she was.
Or was it or was it Charlotte and Becky that was the main event?
I'm gonna go look that up really quick. But here's the thing: is she gonna try to say, like, let's say if Rhea or Bianca main events again? Are we gonna try to say it's because of fucking Ronda?
Mm-hmm.
No, not the talent of those two women I just named on their own, right? Like.
Yeah, it's just
Ronda was the main. Yeah,
he was the main event. Okay, I thought that was Becky and Charlotte, but yeah, man, just like fucking hell. What are you talking about? And here's the real kicker that like legit made me laugh yesterday, bro. Like legit, this made me laugh so hard. Right there, Trey. You want to read this for the chat?
Oh, here we go. Ronda describes her transition to pro wrestling and acting, calls wrestling the purest form of fight choreography. I feel like MMA was a good siege because it purely being an athlete was doing judo in the Olympics. Being an athlete that also has to entertain was MMA, was having to learn how to be on camera and stuff like that, which I used to be petrified of public speaking. I wish you were still petrified, by the way. Then ask what kind of, like, a good, I don't know what that word is, siege, whatever. I started acting in more action films and stuff like that, and your films were terrible, Ronda, by the way. And I could do fight choreography. That kind of segged me into wrestling, which I feel like is the purest form of fight choreography. Ronda, no shit. Literally.
Yeah, so when she said this revelation, chat, this was my reaction when I read this to myself the other day. That was my reaction. Gee, I didn't fucking know that, Rhonda. Thank you for breaking new ground to me, you stupid, dumb, fucking simpleton. Holy fucking
it's
shit.
not hot.
It's not. It's just, my God, she's a fucking retard, bro.
Yeah, she's not the sharpest tool in the shed, boys.
No, not at all.
By the way, hello everybody. I'm here.
What up,
I'm
Tree?
here. I'm real. It's me. It's that DDP baby. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm hyped. All right. Big day for me. All right. Big day. Hockey. Big fun. We also got Ronda fighting, which I'll probably watch tomorrow.
Go home.
Look, here's the thing. You can tug on these nuts all day if you want, because you just a bitch ass hoe. And speaking of bitch ass hoes, we got Ronda to talk about. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
She is fucking cooked. She's having to do celebrity MMA fucking matches.
Yeah.
Like, you know how bad it is that she has to debase herself to fight Gina Carano, which, look, I know people like Gina Carano because she was in Star Wars. They like Gina Carano because she's based or whatever. She was a shit fighter. I'm going to be honest. She was real, like, not good. Right? She was mediocre for early on women's MMA. She hasn't fought professionally in like almost 20 years. Okay. And she just was never the caliber of fighter that Ronda was. Ronda at one point was the best women's fighter in the world. Amanda Nunes is better than Ronda. There's a couple people better than Ronda, but like on the Mount Rushmore, she's probably like on there. Whereas Gina Carano might be on the Mount Rushmore of mid. Less than mid, even. If I'm being generous, I say mid. So this whole fight that's going to be happening tonight will be a shit show. And the entire thing is just set up as a fuck you to TKO, which, to be fair, I would also like to give TKO a big fuck you, but it's for different reasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just don't know, man. Ronda's just retarded. This whole statement, one minute she's like telling people, oh, WWE was decent to me the first run. Second run was a clusterfuck. Well, it's like, then why didn't you come back then?
And even in the thing I read earlier, Tyler, she was talking about, like, she almost was shitting on the 35 match, and then she says it's her favorite match. Bitch, I thought you said it was like last minute booked and all this shit.
Says
and
the
now you're
bitch
saying
you didn't
like
even,
this.
and says the bitch you didn't even freaking do a clean finish in the match. You go back and
No.
watch it. Her shoulders up intentionally, and then she tells everyone, "Oh, I can't lose. My mom will disown me because I'm losing a wrestling match." Bitch, go fuck yourself. This is why I got. You know what? Kids on like comparing wrestling to Hollywood. This is why this is my opinion on that.
We're not in Hollywood. We're in professional wrestling, bitch.
Yeah, fuck you.
I like that new clip. That's a good one.
Remember she said like Alexa wasn't on her level. I'm like, bitch, she was the most over woman.
She was complaining, saying, I shouldn't be wrestling Alexa Bliss because she's small. It's like it ain't got nothing to do with that. It's because she was the best heel they had at the time. Plus, she was a merch seller.
Female heel.
Fucking dumbass.
Yeah. And if we're going height wise, you weren't that much bigger than her, Ronda. You're talking like you're like fucking 6 foot tall. Get the fuck out of here.
She's a dumb fucking bitch. God.
Not understanding kayfabe, fucking exposing the business during a Mania fucking build, by the way.
And she disrespects the wrestling fans every fucking time she gets a chance of doing so. She hates our fucking guts. And you got Ric Flair on Twitter glazing over her and shit. I'm like, Nate, she's pissing on all of us, and you're over here kissing her ass. She basically is telling you your fucking daughter's not even good enough until she got here there to be a main event WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Fuck off with that fucking shit.
She just buried your daughter, basically. And she just buried the other women. So you're going to tell me Rhea wouldn't have eventually got a main event on her own? A Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Becky Lynch. You know, I guess fuck them, right?
And no one talks about that 35 WrestleMania anyways. That WrestleMania 35 was dog shit. From a couple of matches.
35 in general was bad.
Yeah.
35 in general was not good. But yeah, that match sucked ass.
Yeah.
Botchy as fuck. Long.
All over the place.
Main evented. I would have rather Brock and Seth main evented because at least that had a good build.
And I like how she said her favorite match is this match, but she didn't even mention the one she was in with Kurt Angle and Triple H and Stephanie. That was her best match in her entire fucking career.
Or what about the segment where she did the segment with The Rock at 31?
Oh, 31, yeah. I try to forget that segment.
Yeah, that segment wasn't good because I was more salty we didn't get Rock and Triple H at that point.
I was already pissed off that night anyways because here's Triple H 2 matches ago wrestling against Sting, and here he is right here in a suit and tie all of a sudden. I'm like, what the fuck? But I like I said, I don't give a fuck. Ronda's an idiot, and I hope she stays away from wrestling. But someone tells me if there's a possibility,
she's going to
TNA.
She's going to AEW.
Yeah,
Isn't
AEW.
she doing stuff with AEW?
Yeah, won't surprise me.
I actually don't.
You think they
I really don't.
You think they dropped that?
I just don't think she wants to do a schedule. Even with AEW, they would have her on every. I mean, I know Tony's dumb with booking, but Tony's not that dumb. He would have Ronda on every fucking show. And I'm sorry, I don't think Ronda wants to do matches on Collision. Like,
no,
she's not gonna want to be there. And it'll be a deal that ends up being bad for AEW if she is there, and bad if she isn't. Like, if she isn't there, then people are going to be like, where the fuck is Ronda? That one-off thing happened, and they're like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, and they make that debut like a big deal. I was watching it live, and it's like, oh, we're not going to follow it up. Okay. And
yeah, I mean, it was on the pay-per-view.
They're clearly setting her up to attack Toni Storm when she comes back, because that was the angle, right? She took out Toni Storm in the back.
Yeah.
And then I guess we don't follow that up. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean it would be kind of stupid for them to actually do anything with her. I think honestly, Ronda doesn't need the money. She's fucking rich. She's loaded. I don't think she needed the money when she went to WWE. I think she genuinely wanted to do it, and then it was way more difficult. So now she's doing the whole, fuck you. I didn't want to, this shit was stupid anyways. But I think she did genuinely want to be in WWE at the beginning. But it just wasn't, she just wasn't able to have Hogan levels of creative control on shit. And Tony might give you that, but you're also going to have to fucking show up. And she doesn't want to do that either. I don't honestly, I think she just wants to be at home with her family, which is fine. Like, I'm not going to begrudge someone for doing that, but
I doubt it does though. I think she comes back. I think she'll be involved with the Death Riders because, quote unquote, that brings legitimacy to their group. which I think it's retarded.
What do you mean? Moxley fought that guy from Kroger's. He fought the checkout guy at Myers, Whole Foods or whatever. Fucking, I don't know. Didn't he fight some dude? Like, yeah.
Okay, here's the problem: if they bring her into the Death Riders, they're baby faces now. They're tweeners, kind of now. So she can be a tweener, even though you just had her attack fucking Tony Storm.
A tweener, and also people don't like. Even the AEW crowd doesn't like her.
No, they booed her. I heard the boos. I was there.
Yeah. No, there was some cheer. I think there was some cheers just because, like, holy shit, that's a big moment. They can't take away from that. But like,
it also doesn't help.
If she's on TV prolonged, they're not going to fucking like her. All right, she's not fucking Sheldon Benjamin. All right, shout out to my boy Benjamin Sheldon. Yeah, like those guys who were very like WWE, I guess, guys. Although I don't.
So what are they doing with them? When you have they're on fucking Collision? They showed up on Collision apparently a couple weeks ago.
Listen, guys, Collision's doing great. It's in the twos.
I just thought of something. The Death Riders need Ronda for legitimacy. Bobby Lashley fought in Bellator.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like
he won fights too.
Yeah. Wouldn't it make more sense to have him and, I don't know, Sheldon Benjamin, who is a collegiate wrestler, to be in your... Wouldn't it make more sense for a Death Riders fucking...
Hurt Business alliance.
With the Hurt Business? Yeah.
I don't know, but you want to talk about Hurt... since you guys mentioned Hurt Business, you guys want to talk about...
people.
You guys want to talk about Triller TV going out of business?
Oh my god, this thing is becoming a fucking shit show.
Yeah. So who wants to read this article real quick from Wrestle Ops?
I can read it out here for you if you want.
Yeah.
Alrighty. From Wrestle Ops via Post Wrestling. AEW has filed a lawsuit against Triller TV and its parent company, alleging the streaming platform owes them just under $5 million in unpaid revenue from AEW pay-per-view sales and from proceeds for the AEW Plus subscription service. Triller TV's parent company are alleged to have used AEW-derived revenue to fund other businesses, which includes a social media platform that never took off, instead of paying AEW what it was owed. There is a lot of really sketchy shit with Triller. If I'm leaning towards whether this is correct or not, from what I know about Triller, I would have to say, yeah, I think it might be real. Because like it's not doing well.
Mm-hmm.
They are really fucked financially.
I've legit never heard of Triller. I've never heard of Triller TV until this lawsuit.
I heard of Triller TV because it was the Fight. What was it? Fight TV.
Yeah, Fight
before?
TV. Yeah.
It was Fight TV, and there's and a ton of indie promotions were using this. I mean, it actually was a pretty good service, especially their subscription service, which was like $20 a month, and you got to watch from like 15 different indie promotions their stuff.
I think Evolve was on there for went out of business too. I think Evolve was on there.
I believe so, yeah. Like there was a lot of bigger indies that were on there. And yeah, it was a good service. Like it worked for the most part. Again, not necessarily perfectly, but it was a really good service for if you were trying to watch indie wrestling. And then obviously early on, AEW had stuff on Triller.
Yep.
And that kind of started to move away. They started to move away from Triller,
which I think this is a good segue too, by the way, because this is an add up right here, the follow up to the whole lawsuit too. This came available a couple days ago.
Yeah. So AEW, the My AEW app is now available on a ton of places. Yeah, it makes sense. My whole thing though with Triller is there's some real sketchy shit, and I want to try to find another story. I feel like there's another story about Triller that's like really bad.
Yeah, if you can find it. But piggybacking up what you're all saying, I think they said Tony's gonna be suing them for like $5 million, and if they don't have the money, Tony's definitely gonna put him out of business.
He has the deep pockets. Yeah, very deep pockets.
So he'll make sure either he'll get paid or he'll make sure they go, finally bankrupt and go kaploof. So,
like, they're just gonna have to spend all their money on this lawsuit to the point they'll have nothing left.
yeah, and do they even have the resources for a lawyer? Like, let's just be real. Like, lawyers are not cheap unless you get one for free, pro bono.
Pro bono, yeah. Well, it's a company, so they don't get pro bono.
Okay,
pro bono is always for individuals, and on top of that, they'll probably have lawyers on retainer. It's just they're not going to. They're a dead company even without this lawsuit. I think what's happening is Tony's looking at this and being like, well, we have to sue or we're never getting our fucking money. Yep. Because if this goes bankrupt and they have to sell, if you do this, I'm pretty sure whoever buys the company will still have to pay AEW. Because now there's a lawsuit in the works and stuff like that, right? So if Triller loses the lawsuit, that $5 million is owed if someone tries to buy the company. Which someone could, like, I could see someone coming in, buying the company, maybe a bigger corporation, and then they have to pay AEW $5 million because that's a debt that Triller had, right? That debt doesn't just go away.
No,
which is smart.
For like context, like ECW when they went out of business and bankrupt, even though they went bankrupt, they Vince McMahon still had to pay all the people. Even though went bankrupt, he had to pay them all to pay all their debt. So
Yeah, and again, with ECW, one of the problems was they weren't getting the money that they were owed from, I forget which pay-per-view provider it was that wasn't paying AEW.
Viacom, right? Viacom, right?
No, it wasn't Viacom. I thought it was like a sub-company. I forget what it's called, but there was a specific pay-per-view company that ECW worked with. Back when those existed. And they just weren't paying the money that was owed to ECW. And that's why Paul wasn't able to pay people, right?
Yeah.
So, well, part of the reason also they were spending too much money, but
right.
They would have been probably just a little bit fucked if they were actually getting the money they were owed. Instead, they were a lot fucked. But with this thing, the problem with ECW was I don't think Paul had anywhere close to enough money to sue. Yes, that was it. Yeah.
Okay. And later became demand. It became demand. So
on demand, yeah. So yeah, I mean, the thing is, if Paul had enough money to where he could have sued them, then technically WWE would get that money that was owed for them. But I think that money just kind of got kept by On Demand.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't know for sure. I mean, Paul Heyman would fucking know, but I don't know for sure. Yeah. But I have a hunch that that's what's happened. So basically, Tony sees that Triller is going out of fucking business. He's owed money by them.
Yep.
And he's looking at this and being like, fuck, dude, I need to get a lawsuit so I can actually get the money that I'm owed because people did sign up and paid. It's kind of shitty that he has to do this. I feel like that's like, again, we shit on Tony Khan all the time, but that's pretty shitty, man. He provided a product, went into an agreement with this company, and now he's having to sue to get the money agreed upon. And $5 million is not a little bit of money. That's a lot of money.
A lot of money. I mean, imagine.
I know Tony Khan. I know Tony Khan is has got that billionaire money from his family, but still $5 million for AEW's books, that could go a long way to helping them as a company, because you don't want to just be throwing money into AEW like it's a fucking money pit. At some point Shad will just say no more. Well, if there's $5 million of revenue,
I mean, sadly
held up, that's fucked.
Sadly, he's got to do it for principle. It's just like you can't get like these people get away with this kind of stuff. Honestly,
no, you can't.
Yeah, and money, get your money back. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that's how it works. I had thought I saw a story, and I can't find it now. About Triller's Triller TV was suing its own parent company.
I didn't see that.
I thought, but I have another story, by the way.
Okay.
I just found this is from 18 hours ago from a website called eWrestlingNews.com. So I don't know how true this is. Please take this with a grain of salt, but it has to do with another company accusing Triller of withholding payments, this time a European indie company, which I think we've all heard of, WXW.
Yes,
And I
I've heard of it.
in the chat, the private chat there for you.
Yeah, I'm getting it. It's acting a little goofy right now. Give me 1 second. There we go.
Apparently, yeah, Triller is withholding payments to other people, which makes sense for a company.
Yeah.
They're going to do it to AEW. They're going to do it to smaller people who don't have the money to do that. It would be. I'm just saying, Tony Khan could do something interesting here. He could fund lawsuits for all these other companies if this stuff starts popping up. He could in theory go to these indie promotions, say, hey, I'll fund a lawsuit. So then when they win that lawsuit, because I feel like it's not guaranteed, obviously, and all this stuff is alleged, but my gut is telling me that they did do it. They did withhold this money. So if Tony goes and funds those lawsuits, these indie promotions can get their money. Tony has enough money to do it, right?
Yeah.
And you build a good connection with those indie promotions, right? Especially when you're worried about WWE kind of branching out like that, which they have been trying to with indies. This is a literal, like, on a silver platter, it's being handed to Tony Khan, where he can go and say, hey, any of you indie promotions that have a problem, I'll fucking pay your lawsuits. I'll pay for a lawyer.
Yeah, because the more it's like the more people jump in a lawsuit, the more it gets pushed more in court, right?
Well, yeah, this is all civil, right? So if all of a sudden there's like,
or just go to claims court, I don't know. That's what.
Well, that's civil, right?
Okay. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not Nick Ricketty.
I don't think this would be a class action because it's a bunch of different companies. Class action is like individuals. Okay. But if you see a bunch of companies, right? Yeah. Suing this one company all for the same thing, all around the same time, it starts to look really bad. And the thing is, in civil court, in criminal court, you have reasonable doubt, right? So you need a unanimous decision. Reasonable doubt is basically if you can reasonably say that the person didn't commit a crime. Let's say there's a murder, and it's like, I can reasonably think, based on the evidence that's been handed to me, that this person may not have killed that person. You have to let them go. You have to let them go because you have a reasonable doubt in your head that they may not have done this. What I gather in civil courts, there is not that. It's majority rules. What's more likely? And that's what you roll off of. In criminal, if you even think there's a 1% chance that they didn't do it, you gotta vote that they didn't do it. But in civil, you're just like, I don't know, it's like 51% chance they did it. All right, well, we'll go that way. So that's the kind of difference between that, which makes cases like this very easy to win if you have a ton of them, right? Because people will look at this and be like, you've been found guilty already, and there's like 4 more lawsuits about this. It seems like pretty likely that you did this. So the bar to pass for civil is so low. The one thing I would say that would be difficult is because WXW is based out of Germany. And so an international lawsuit costs a lot of money. Like it costs more money to sue someone in a different country than in your own country. Right. So yeah, having someone like Tony come in and fund it, back that could help this promotion out a lot. And again, if they're owed money, they should be getting their money. I hate the fact that if they just don't try to do this, they may not be able to get their money back at all. But that's just the reality of how people do business, and it's a shame because they didn't do anything wrong. They held up their end of the bargain. They provided shows, and now they're being withheld that revenue that they're dependent on. They need that money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, AEW doesn't necessarily need $5 million, but WXW definitely needs any money it can get.
Yeah.
It's a smaller indie. Yeah.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting to see. Hopefully, there'll be more news coming here in the next couple of days. But you know, speaking about money, you guys want to talk about Kevin Nash's comments about TKO and stuff like that?
Oh God, yeah, sure.
And this will be our last story of the Dizzy.
Big Quads himself. I'm gonna call him Billy Quads from now on.
Excuse me. I like Nash, but it's like I'll let you read it and then I'll give you my 2 cents. But go ahead, Kareem, if you want to read to the chat.
Yeah, sure thing. Kevin Nash has urged WWE stars to unionize and join SAG-AFTRA following TKO pay cuts. You can't have it both ways. You can't play Endeavor at the top with the 300% increases and the 1,099 the dock work. Sorry, the 1099 dock workers. My bad. If they're going to play by those rules, let the boys play by the same rules. Go to the Screen Actors Guild. They will be more than happy to take their cut of your money. Won't be 50%, but it'll change the ball game. Take one of the programs that is written down, and you tell me that your program isn't more heavily written and more produced than Curb Your Enthusiasm when Curb Your Enthusiasm was when all those actors got SAG pay. Yeah. So he's basically telling them to join SAG-AFTRA.
Join a union. I wish Nash had this mentality when he was in WCW making 6 figures to unionize wrestling. But now you wait till you get out of the business. Say, yeah, the boys should unionize now. It's kind of ironic, isn't it? Like, and then this is coming from a guy who
very is.
Like this is coming from a guy who likes Kevin Nash. I don't hate Kevin Nash. I think he's misunderstood. I think he's a lot. I think he gets a lot of shit.
He gets same here. I think he does get a lot of unnecessary shit. Like, you know,
yeah, like I don't think he's a dumb guy. Like he was really bad at booking in WCW at that one point in time, but still though. But it's like I wish you had this mentality back in the 90s and crap, because the boys would have been unionized then when you were making basically owning WCW at the time. So it's like, fucking hell, dude. Why didn't you have the same mentality 20 years ago, 30 years ago almost?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and this is my one thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if SAG-AFTRA is a union for. I guess it would, because technically they are acting.
Yeah. I think that's why he's saying it.
Yeah, and honestly, when TKO comes in and starts trying to force people to renegotiate their contracts, that's actually something where it's like, yeah, actually, I'm not a fan of unions. If you watch Gronking, you know I fucking hate unions. This is a case where this is a case where actually, yeah, you probably should be unionized, because I think it's completely unacceptable for both parties to agree upon a contract and then to try and force a renegotiation of a contract. And then if they don't bite on a really lowball offer to what they were offered, that you terminate their contracts like they did with the New Day. That's bullshit. That's like complete fucking bullshit. Your company, maybe not you when you were in charge, but your company signed that contract. You have to honor that. You can't just fucking like, oh, well, we got to get rid of anyone making this, and then we want to lower the amount that people are making. I mean, WWE is running all-time high revenues. WWE is making more money than UFC, right? So now you want to lower the amount that people, one, you want to raise tickets so it costs more for people to get in, and then you want to fucking lower the wages. This is the, oh man, how do I say this without getting like super
political
in depth? Well, not necessarily, I guess adjacent. This is the problem with 21st century capitalism, right? I love capitalism. Capitalism is great. But what happens when people are so obsessed with number goes up, graph line goes up, that then they just basically start ruining their company to make a cheap buck that long term will have detrimental effects to their company. It's dumb money. It's really stupid, and it's kind of how the entire stock market is operating right now.
Cronyism.
That's
I'll
not
use
a
that word.
TKO issue. That's the way that publicly traded companies are set up, because you have a fiduciary duty. So if you're not improving revenue each quarter, well, there's a problem. So how do you improve revenue when you hit your cap? Well, you got to raise prices because that brings in more money. Okay. But then less people show up. So then how do you offset that? Well, we got to lower people's contracts. And that's where it becomes a problem, because then you're actually negatively affecting your bottom line, right? Is the New Day really going to lead to WWE losing a shit ton of money now that they're gone? I don't think so. But if you take that mentality and use it on everyone, it will have an effect. It always will. And this is the real problem with outside of TKO, a lot of companies, but TKO is one of the worst for it. I mean, look at UFC. Anyone who watches UFC and knows anything about UFC knows that a lot of those guys get paid so low they have to work fucking jobs. They're fighting on UFC cards and they have to work a job outside. They got to go pay for everyone to come to the events. They don't even get the fucking shower in the building because UFC doesn't even pay the little fee, the nominal fee it takes to use one of the showers. So they show up, they fight, they're all sweaty, they put their clothes on and go back to the hotel. Like, they don't even have the respect to allow the guys who just fought and bled all over the place to just have a quick shower so they clean themselves up.
Yeah.
Like that's the mentality we're working with now is running WWE. I mean, Vince McMahon's not a fucking saint. He's far from it, but there were a lot of things that Vince did that was better for people who are wrestling that are now going to get stripped away.
Yeah.
And they're going to keep stripping them away. And we're going to keep getting more and more hours of shows with less and less people on it, because that's how you make the most amount of money. That's why they won't drop SmackDown from 3 hours to 2, because of the revenue.
They're going back to 2 hours in June. That was
but that's only because there's a WWE related show that's going to be on. Well, so it's not even like it's like that. Sure, but it's not it's a different. It's not out of like pure like, wow, we really do need to drop down to 2 hours for because creatively we're bankrupt now.
Apparently it's in the contract. So
yeah,
I found that out.
Like this is what I mean. Like it's still a financial benefit for them to do that, because then the network has another show that they can lead into, which is that fucking Braun Strowman one. So it's like, it's not, they're not doing it out of the goodness of their hearts. They're not doing it because it's a better product, which is really how you should be chasing, like running a company. It should be the best product possible. You should be trying to go for the best product possible, and they're not, which is why they're going to say what you will about Tony. Tony, his radar is completely off, but I think his heart's in the right place. He genuinely thinks he's trying to make the best product possible. I don't think people in WWE think that. I think they know that they're kind of cheating people.
Well, yeah, Shapiro and all them though, they definitely know. Triple H and all them, they're going for the ride. They're not going to say nothing. They're not going to.
I think Triple H does think that. It's just he doesn't want to ruffle feathers. I think.
Yeah,
I think
Nick Khan, they both know they're not. They're not going.
What feathers can he ruffle? They'll fire him.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not his company.
He's got no. Yeah, because he's got no security. His father-in-law was the boss, so he was still had. Either he gave his mind. Peter gave a piece of his mind to Vince. He still had his job. He didn't worry about that, right? So now he does.
And they're becoming. And on top of that, when he was doing his best work, was early NXT when he was never going to get fired.
Yeah.
And really early on, because TKO wasn't heavily involved. It was just, we got Vince out of here, so you're in charge. And so now we're getting it to where TKO is involved heavily. Right? Not even The Rock, just the actual executives of TKO are heavily, heavily involved. Like the shit with Pat McAfee and all the contract bullshit. Like, it's getting to the point where like it is painful to watch WWE programming.
Yeah.
And I fucking watched through like 2016. Right? I was watching through the bad times, and dude, this is more painful. Yeah. Because it's like at least there was like, well, at least Vince, you can be like, oh, he's some old geriatric, maybe he just lost his touch, right? And you could be like, well, at least he's not trying to purposely fuck over people watching. And with TKO, it's like, no, you're actually actively making it the worst product for people to watch. It's just slop.
An argument can be made during the time period around 2016 through 2019. Vince was booking for himself. But besides that, like going back to Vince for a minute, Vince always did that stuff too. I mean, let's be real. He released people after WrestleMania. He did that too.
But he never went to, except for Brett.
That's all I'm mentioning. Yeah, because he offered Brett 20-year contract, then reneged and said he couldn't do it. And then
then also was like, hey, I can't afford this. Go to the competition. Like there was even with that, even at his worst, there was still this thing of, well, I'm not gonna cock block you, dude. I'm sorry. It didn't work out. Which, by the way, I don't know what the fuck game he was at doing that shit, because he should have known,
because he told Brett
like he wasn't going to be able to afford it. But
yeah, I mean, Brett said that about Vince. Vince told him, said, "Hey, look, go get your current deal and make more money, and then come back when your deal's back, and there'll be always be home for you. Go get your money, and I'll even help you, end your contract soon." And then Montreal happened and all that crap. But still, though,
he did that with AEW too.
Yeah,
like early on, it's like, oh, Mark Henry's gone, Big Show's gone, and TKO now is just like, hey, you're on TV, and we had you, win the tag titles just like last year, but we want to pay you 30% of what your fucking contract is or some shit. Yeah. And it's like, no, you don't get to do that. Even fucking Vince didn't do that. He would just say, I can't honor this contract any further, so I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna drop your non-compete clause or some shit.
And that's the thing about AEW. I did hear about that because I heard this from Strickland, Swerve. He was talking about how AEW, it's legit guaranteed contracts. WWE does the downside guaranteed, which they've always done that for years, even before they went public and all that crap. Because like I've heard stories like guys say that, oh yeah, I got paid $100 a night, but I still had to pay for my food and all that stuff, and like hotel and all that crap because of my downside guaranteed. So yeah, AEW is definitely the best option to go get that guaranteed money. And like I said before, we talked about this like 2 weeks ago. I don't blame New Day leaving, because if these guys are making $5 million a piece, which I don't know, I'm just speculating, so just put it out there. Yeah. They're making $5 million, and then TKO comes back and tells them, hey, we're gonna, you guys are making $5 million. Yeah, not gonna work for us. So we're gonna offer you guys $700K. You still got to pay for your flight, got to pay for your travel, got to pay for your board and room and food. So you guys accept these terms? No, fuck that shit.
No, and on top of that, the fact that they would definitely negotiate their if they have any finances they're negotiating, it's going to be based off the fact that they have a contract worth $5 million. If you're going to
much,
and also it's an insult. It really is an insult to go to someone and say, I'll pay you 30% of what I am paying you.
Yeah,
currently. I mean, if you, and this is the thing with contract, if you didn't do that, if that was just your normal day job, right? If you're just working at a salary and they did that, it's a crime. It's called constructive dismissal, where they pay you less, or they basically force you out of where you're working. It's a crime, and you can sue. Yeah. So the fact that this is the problem with contracts, the upside's really fucking high. Right, if you're Cody Rhodes, you're making fuck tons of money.
Oh yeah.
Now again, with something like SAG-AFTRA, you can still make fuck tons of money.
But then
I mean, look at actors; they make a lot of money. It's just you're gonna make a little bit less money, and you have to have someone who's actually willing to say, "I'm willing to take that pay cut to help other people."
Yeah, and that's not gonna happen.
Usually that doesn't happen in wrestling. That doesn't work for me, brother, is usually what happens.
Prime example, Hogan. When Jesse Ventura was trying to unionize it, Hogan knew if I got, we go union, I'm not going to make, it's in the documentary too. What do you say? I was making $500,000 my first 6 months in the company. Then after that, I was bringing home $5 million a month.
Yeah.
And I got to share the wealth with all the other boys. No, it's not going to happen. It's like a baseball player, right? It's like asking Barry Bonds to take a pay cut to make sure they can keep Jeff Kent and Barry Zito or Benji Molina on home plate.
Hey, you know what? Shit? Keep Benji, dude. He was wild back.
I did like
or
Benji.
Michael Jordan. Yeah, taking a pay cut.
Yeah, you think?
Right? Here's the thing, though. When you bring up Jordan, is the NBA has a union. You have the Players Association. Same with the NHL. Same with the NFL. And those, if you were to model, right, a association like that with WWE, right? I'm not going to get crazy and say have AEW join it, but if you really wanted to, you could. Do it with WWE. I mean, the NFL doesn't lose that much money off of the fucking Players Association.
Yeah.
And it keeps the players happy. It keeps
morale up.
Honestly, it keeps morale high, and sometimes you have to deal with strikes. That's a fact. But honestly, if they go to the Screen Actors Guild, you're going to have to deal with a lot more strikes, and you will have less and less control over how you bargain. If you set up a WWE, call it a WWWA, WWE Wrestlers Association, and you set that up, you already offer things like rehab or medical coverage for people who used to be in the company. Like they always used to do that. I don't know how much Endeavor does that still, but
because that was out of Vince's pocket. Because I mean, look at Scott Hall. Scott Hall went to rehab 20 to 30 times, and that came out of Vince's pocket to put him in rehab. And guess what?
You roll that into the players, the rest. You would call it the Wrestlers Association, their union. Yeah. And again, you have control over it. You look at the NFL, it works for the NFL, it works for the NBA, it works for the NHL. They're going to try to fucking pull some of this shit in the MLB. Yeah. And the only reason it may not work is because of fucking the owners, like the high rollers, like Edward Rogers and the guy who owns the Dodgers.
Yeah.
That rhymed. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but
don't hate the player, hate the game.
No, I hate the player to hate the game. Yeah. So, it's something that could work, I think. Trey, what do you think about this, though, big fella?
Like you, I'm not a fan of unions at all, majority of the time. But a wrestler's one makes sense. I guess like that.
You're roboting, Trey. Just real quick, you're roboting for a minute.
Should be good now. Oh no, he ran away. He got scared.
No, Trey's getting his stuff set up. Trey's getting his computer and all that set up too this week.
Back. Fucking, is my Wi-Fi? It just blinked out for a second.
It happens.
But
California.
But I don't like unions really majority of the time. But I'm interested to see where wrestling if you do it like the other pro sports, I guess it could work, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm 50-50 on unions being in wrestling because
same here.
But like I get it. It's I know what people are saying. Yeah, they go to SAG because they're entertainment, but it's just like I don't think the boys would unionize. I really don't think they would today. Unless you can find a group of guys
I think they would after the whole New Day shit. I actually do think that there would be enough support for a union now.
But then there's a process of electing a chief union steward and the main guy to run the union to represent the boys. It's like who's gonna do that? Who's gonna you think Steve Austin's gonna show up? He's like, I'll fight for you, son. Yeah, make sure you get that damn money.
No, it would have to be a current wrestler. Yeah, so you would want
Roman Reigns. I guess
Cody. No, R-Truth. It'll be R-Truth, dude.
I mean,
honestly, I just thought of something. You have R-Truth, right? Do this, and then you could turn it into a fucking storyline where R-Truth is the union boss.
Yeah, I actually think that would be funny.
Can you imagine this real quick? If Hogan was still alive and he said this at the union, he'd get elected as president for the union for the wrestlers.
The main problem that we have right now is we've got a problem.
Imagine that.
Oh, Hogan and TNA, man. The main problem is we have a problem.
Yeah. But just I just don't know, man. Like, it'd be interesting to see what happens, but I just think it's very ironic. The guy who says, yeah, there should be a union now was the guy that made all the fucking money in WCW, didn't share the wealth with nobody.
Yep. And literally benefited off of there not being a union.
Yeah. Because I mean, he admitted it because him and Hall had favorite nations in their clause,
which means they could match the contract of anyone who comes
or got more. That's why they brought in Brett, and then when Brett came in, they got paid more money because they wanted to make those guys happy, and that's why Sid
matched the contracts.
Yeah, and that's when Sid came in too, because Sid came in, he was making more money, and that means Hall and Nash are making more money. So like I said, Nash is not definitely a stupid guy. He's very, very intelligent. Some of the other stuff he says is pretty stupid, but besides that, I don't know. I guess we'll just see what happens. Like, I don't know if TKO. I mean, if there's not a union in the UFC, I don't think there's going to be a union for the WWE. I just don't.
I think there's more of a will for it, and here's the thing with the UFC. UFC fighters have always been paid like shit.
Yeah.
And even now there's rumblings. I mean, there's Tom Aspinall's new manager is Eddie Hearn, the big boxing promoter. Right. And that's basically a fuck you to Dana White.
Yeah.
Like, that's a fuck you for not getting paid, for letting John Jones basically hold the heavyweight title for 2 years for no fucking reason, without him really fighting any competition that's actually steep. So there is movement towards UFC for doing it. Thing is, they've always been paid like shit. Wrestlers haven't, man. All these wrestlers have, like, the high end guys have all their buses. Even the low end guys are making good money. People who are going to the NXT people are making like $100,000 a year. That's good money.
Yeah. NXT money to most normal people would be like a lot, right?
So the students, I know this for a fact. I can't tell you how I know this, but I definitely do know. This is Guys on the Truth. I do know this. NXT guys who get signed, they get paid $450,000 a year, and they pay them guys every 2 weeks, and they basically pay them to train, watch film, learn, and get better in shape. And they get paid that much.
And they really don't have to travel much.
No,
they used to have like NXT house shows where they do like
they still do. But
I mean,
like
but not really.
Yeah,
it's
TKO
all
eliminated all that shit.
right?
Yeah, TKO eliminated the majority of all the house shows or the live events.
Oh, they are doing new live events though. Apparently, they announced that.
Some of them, they're doing like one in London. I saw
that's a different story for a different time. I have my own thoughts about that, but yeah, but like I said, I guess we'll just see what happens with the whole union thing. But I don't know, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens, honestly, because it'd be kind of weird if the TKO guys, like for the UFC fighters and the WWE guys, would all go on strike. TKO would really be fucked, and then you have which I don't doubt happens, but I'm just saying, like, that's the only way I can see it actually getting pushed through, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, if they were to, I mean, imagine the UFC guys if they decide to go on strike.
Yeah.
Let's say this month upcoming.
Yeah, for the White House card.
Yep. That would be the place to do it because it's the biggest card, and you have the biggest. It's basically the biggest FU.
Yeah.
But again, that's assuming that people get organized enough. I think WWE has a better chance. Maybe when they see people in the other part of the company unionized, it'll force UFC fighters to actually get their shit together and try to unionize. But TKO if you treat your employees like shit, they're going to want to unionize. This is why companies have an incentive to treat their employees as well as possible. Vince wasn't a fucking saint, but he understood that. That's why he would do a lot of the shit that he did. He wasn't perfect, and he definitely like the releases were a little much, especially near the end, but he would pay for people's rehabs. He would pay for their medical any medical things they needed. Like he would do that.
Bailed people out. He's bailed people out before.
Yeah,
That's a real dude. Having a boss that'll bail you out of prison. That's
allegedly he bailed out Jimmy Snuka.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
That's the most famous one.
Yeah,
it's that one.
Yeah, dude. That's a real G. That's a boss to work for, dude.
You know, it might have been for other reasons, but I mean, he did do that, and plus catering.
Yeah,
Vince, I, as far as I know, Vince paid for catering, and I've always heard stories from that. People's like, from Honky Tonk Man, it's like, yeah, the reason why the catering's free to use because he's taking it out of your check every month and he's putting it towards your food and shit.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of. I mean, yeah.
That's got all companies got that.
Yeah, I don't think Honky Tonk Man knows how business.
He doesn't know how it works. No, he doesn't.
But you know, I think he was too coked up the fucking. He was too busy buying all that blow, so he couldn't even think about it. Did Honky Tonk Man do coke? I don't know.
Probably, but I know he didn't do steroids like this guy did.
I don't know how you did it, but I know you're dirty. I know you're on steroids.
What?
You're not anabolic. You're a gas head.
No.
You're a gas head.
No.
What's this look like? What's this look like? Testosterone?
No.
What's this look like, huh?
No.
The juice?
This is an ambush.
What's this, huh?
This is an ambush.
Barry Bonds?
That's a wild clip, bro. Holy shit. Oh man.
The Kevin Nash Invitational, that was great. The paparazzi tournament, that was some great shit back in the day. But now we're just spinning our wheels, and I'm getting a cue from Ric Flair here.
Go home.
So I think we're gonna wrap it up. So you guys got anything to promote before we get out of here?
Just the review with the boys tomorrow. Smashing Machine review.
Yeah, what Trey said. Double that.
Pin down, or not pin down. We're on pin down now. Gronking tomorrow. Yeah. I'm gonna go watch hockey now.
Yeah, we're gonna go and watch the Gina Carano fight. So until next time, guys, we will see you probably next week, and hopefully there'll be more juicier news to drop and bitch about. So until then, peace.
Be gone. Get out.